This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, the insane Daryl Wayne and I'm Mark Alyn, we're going to take a stroll through a couple of different aspects of health. We're going to wrap up today with some words of wisdom from Robert Clancy, author of Guide to the Soul. We'll also be spending some time with Bill Marks. Yep, that Bill Marks, the jazz pianist, the son of Harpo, and he's written a new book about caregiving. We'll be talking about that. And we'll start our show right now with a look at superhero seniors with a superhero senior that I know. Her name is Naomi Carmona-Morshead. And Naomi and I have known each other for 5-6 years now. And
let's see. Yes, we have.
Right? So, I have to tell you that Naomi is the only person I personally know who has climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. So,
well, I not only climbed it. Can I say something about that?
Yeah, sure.
When I got to the top, they thought it was the only mountain I would ever climb after the training times. And so I stood up on a rock in a snowstorm, and I jumped 1 foot higher than Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, you. I guess even as a senior, as somebody over 50, there are certainly challenges, but you had an extra challenge thrown at you. You've had a congenital heart issue. Has that weighed on your life all your life?
Well, congenital heart defect is a structural defect, so it's not a disease that takes you out in another way, but it actually takes away your energy. So you're not allowed to do a lot of things. So, for example, I ran my first mile when I was 15. Okay, so I had open heart surgery at 10, and how that changed my life was I had a defect in one of my valves, and it wasn't giving me enough blood to go through. And so when it doesn't go through, then you lose your energy. However, the night before my surgery, I heard my dad say, "Don't anybody say anything about death. We haven't told her she might not make it." And that affected me more than the heart surgery because I was like, I don't believe it. They haven't been honest with me. So emotionally, it actually made an emotional distancing from my parents, and that lasted about 20 years. So it's not just the physical, it's the mental and the emotional that gets all wrapped up in a structural defect that if you don't have surgery, most people will die, but there's a lot of percentages that don't. So it's a difficult thing, but I'm an overcomer and a survivor.
When I was a kid, they called one of the valve defects a heart murmur, and now I guess they call it microvalve prolapse. Lots of people have it, and it's basically a leaky valve. Is that different than what you've had?
It could be a leaky valve. A murmur is a different sound. The murmur itself is the sound. A prolapse valve, well, if you... in my case, no. So most people are born with, every valve has 3 parts to it. So all 3 valves have to open and close equally at the same time. I was born with a bicuspid, which is only 2 pieces instead of 3. And so the opening is much narrower. And they've been finding people in the 80s who, as they do autopsies and things, or even needing heart surgery, that they also have a bicuspid valve. And honestly, it takes a 1/8 inch cut of a knife to make that more user-friendly. But it does take open heart surgery.
A user-friendly heart valve is what we're talking about then.
That's right. Well,
right.
I'm talking about the miracle of watching heart surgery in Ethiopia when the doctor said, "Look, Naomi, he's got what you have." And I'm looking into the heart, and with 1/8 inch of scissors, he cuts it and he goes, "Save that one." That was when I was 58 years old, and it was amazing to watch a child's life be saved. And we have wonderful doctors now who do things like that around the world.
Of course. During your growing years and into your 50s, did you curtail physical activity because of this?
Well, initially, my whole goal to survive the surgery was to climb a mountain. It was a little mountain, only 3,200 feet in Arizona, but it's across from my uncle's house. And my brother got to climb it, and I didn't. But after that, it became a mental thing. Because I'd lived for 15 years without clearance to do things, I didn't stop. I mean, I learned how to swim, but I couldn't swim the length of the pool. I swam sideways, right? So I thought it was great and wonderful, but really I learned much later that swimming the long way of the pool is a lot better. So the restrictions were more in my head, and I didn't remove them until I was 58.
As you know, I've written a book called Growing Old Sucks, but it doesn't have to. And it's all about aging with attitude. And you seem to be right in that category. You're not taking you're taking life seriously, but at the same time, you're growing. You just told me that you're going to climb another mountain that requires picks and all those climbing.
And Isaac, yep.
The thing from the Clint Eastwood movie, Igor Sanction, something like that.
Not that one. I'm going to climb in Nepal. But listen, what you said is so true. Growing old sucks, but it doesn't have to. Because when I was 58, I went to a course. So using personal development and looking outside of my box and going something that's a little uncomfortable, I saw people younger than me doing handstands. And that's when your hands are on the ground and your whole body is up and your head, everything's upside down. And I said, well, if they're heavier than I am, why can't I do it? And at the time I was 58. So I ended up, after 4 days of training, being able to hold a handstand without assistance for 1 minute and 31 seconds. That's insane. And from that, I broke the barrier on my head that said I can't do. And from that, I decided to climb mountains and do things that are way crazy for 66 years old, right?
Terrific for somebody who's 66 years old. Our guest is Naomi Carmona-Morshead, and she's talking about some of the personal stories of climbing mountains and hiking. But more important than that, Naomi has said, nuts. I'm not going to take this sitting down. I'm not going to watch Jeopardy every night. I'm going to get up and I'm going to climb mountains and do different things. Are you helping to inspire other seniors to not take it anymore and to age with attitude?
Absolutely. And what you said, that it doesn't have to suck to age, that's really the idea. I stand for joy, Joy. And that means that I inspire seniors who have lived a full life, a career, a family, grandkids, the whole thing, but their own personal desires got left on the shelf. So I have a dreams challenge for SuperHero seniors, because I believe anybody over 50 is a superhero. In some part of your life, you've accomplished something, and now what? What can you do? They've really told us, stay 6 feet away, don't touch this, don't go there. I mean, it feels like there's a box being put on your head and push, down, and that's not how I want to live. So I have this challenge for people who want to break out and say, no, I'm not going to stay like that. I have a whole lot to offer this world.
Well, my feeling is that this is the best time in your life. You have an opportunity to change and do what you've always wanted to do. And I think when we come back from our break, we'll continue with that thought that this is the time for you. You know, if you're over 50 or 60 or 80 or 90. I know somebody who works 50 hours a week selling cars, and he does it because he loves doing it. Our guest, Naomi Morshead. I'm Mark Alyn here at Late Night Health, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with Naomi.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Our guest is Naomi Carmona-Morshead, and we're talking about life after 50. People after 50 often, many times, figure that their life is over and they're just waiting to die. Would you agree with that, Naomi, that there are people like that?
I think there are, but I think there are people over 50 who are thinking that they're end of their life, but they're not my friends, because I'm the one who goes way out beyond that and wants to inspire those people. So I would like them to be my friends so that I can show them a different way of living.
In other words, we're going to kick them in their tush.
Pretty much. Get off that couch. And it's nothing against those streaming videos, but don't you think we've seen enough? Let's make our own life. The discovery of life is amazing. I actually belong to a group called the Evolutionary Business Council, and it's for people who've lived, who have experience, who want to share it, and want to actually have influence in a larger way. So we reach around the world, and our goal is to reach billions of people. And I work, I actually volunteer, I don't call it work. I volunteer with the EBC, or the Evolutionary Business Council, because of the connections with people who are doing like-minded things. They're not in my industry, but most of them are speakers like me. Most of them are inspirational authors like me. Most of them live like you on purpose, and they're out to help people change their lives, look higher, find that joy, and we're speaking and doing things in, I don't know how many countries, but around the world.
It's an amazing group, and that's actually where I met Naomi. I'm a member of the EBC. I'm just not as active as she is. When they need something that I can provide, I'm glad to help, and have made lifelong friends. Naomi I can think of people around the world, and it's
in
really
Australia, in England, in Africa, in Holland. We have them in Spanish countries.
Yeah, I was thinking of Daniel Gutierrez in Peru now.
Yes.
We have a good friend in England, at least one, Liberty Forest, who was a member, and I'm trying to think of just all kinds of people, including Robert Clancy, who will be on the show in about 30 minutes from now.
Love Robert. He is a great influence, and he's always helpful. Absolutely.
And we welcome him to Southern California. All right, let's continue our look. You have a title, okay? Just like you, I was worried about tomorrow. Tell us about that.
Well, I think that now more than ever, we need to think about what's happening in our daily lives. And instead of making plans for things that could go wrong, making plans to make things better. And so I used to have a different mindset. And I lost my husband 21 years ago to diabetes. And so I didn't know that it was possible to die from that. And so once I learned about that, I decided with my new husband, we are not dying from disease. So we purposely create a health foundation. Everything we do is about our health. So that includes sleeping. That includes eating a balanced meal. It includes supplementing whatever's missing in your diet. It includes how much you eliminate and how much you hydrate. It includes exercise. It includes mindset. So now I'm not just like you. I'm not worried about tomorrow because I've set in place those systems that help me track what I need to do to be the healthiest, not the least healthy.
But at the same time, we all have to go sometime. We're stamped at birth with an expiration date. I believe that we can make the most out of whatever that expiration date is. We all want to live to be 120. We all want to live to be 120 in good health and know who we are and go in our sleep at home rather than in a hospital. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And actually, Mark, I just finished a program called 75 Hard, which was 75 days in a row that you have to commit to do these things. And if you don't do them, they send you a text. Have you completed your challenge for today? And if you don't answer, they say, sorry, you have to start over on day one. So there's commitments there. And what I did for that challenge for myself, as I told you before, I couldn't only swim sideways across the pool. I decided to learn to swim the length of the pool and to a quarter mile, which is 16 lengths. And it took me until day 72 to get there. And on day 73, 74, and 75, when I was swimming 16 lengths without stopping freestyle, which is harder than breaststroke, I said, yes, I've accomplished a change in my mindset about swimming.
And were you ever told that you couldn't do that?
I was never told. It was more a mindset. It was more like I did what I had to do to pass the test in high school for swimming. But no one ever said, go do bigger.
When you were younger and just out of surgery, did they warn you to be careful, not to stress physically or mentally for that matter? I had the surgery at 10, and then 5 years later, remember this was in the pioneering days of heart surgery. So way back in 64 is when I had my surgery. So they didn't do that. I don't know what they do today, but what they said was you can do anything except contact sports. You cannot do gymnastics. You cannot sit on your head. You cannot play football. And they gave me a list of things I couldn't do. And so I went out for tennis because that's me against myself. And I barely passed tennis. I wasn't any good, but it was the first sport I was allowed to do. So, yeah, they put restrictions. I think the reason that I survived so well is because I played a musical instrument and I was a singer. And that developed my lungs and my heart and kept them really strong. And playing the oboe, the clarinet, and the saxophone, and the two of them in marching band, that's a lot of exercise. But they didn't call it exercise. So I did it. I see.
Does that make sense?
You know, in our remaining couple of moments, Naomi, what would you recommend to seniors who are lost? Almost everybody today has COVID depression. We're isolated. We can't hug our friends and family. We can't see family members. We don't travel as much as we had. What do you recommend? What do you suggest to people to do so that they can age with attitude and say, damn it, I'm not going to take it anymore?
Absolutely. Well, I talk about resources, training, and focus. So I want to talk about what's in your own home. When I was hiking, I have a bathtub and I have a shower, but I always take a shower. So when I started hiking at age 61, I was so sore. And I started using the bathtub. It was in my bathtub. It's in my bathroom. I started using it for a jacuzzi-like experience. And I used all the elements that you need, the Epsom salts, the doTERRA. I use doTERRA, the different oils that you can put in there. And I would soak in the tub. It sounds crazy, but it was rejuvenating. So what's right in your house that you have as a resource that you could use for your physical well-being? And then what if you took a walk every single day? So I have my 88-year-old walking, my dad, because my mom passed, and he's now up to a mile and a half a day, and he won the award for the oldest 80-year-old, 80-plus person who walked 14 miles in 1 week. Those are simple little things that you could track and do by giving yourself the award of seeing the outdoors, breathing the fresh air, and putting your mind over the matter. What if you just walked a quarter of a mile farther, or 1 block less, or whatever you need to do, step 1 step higher, go up the stairs instead of the elevator. There's every little thing that you can do is going to result, if you do it consistently over time, in massive results. So I encourage people to get a system and to track it. In my case, I just lost 13 pounds, and I did that with a 75 hard, but I'm still losing weight, and I finished the challenge. So.
That's terrific. Naomi, we're out of time. You have your Dreams Challenge for SuperHero Seniors coming up. We'll have that link on our website. We really appreciate you being here at Late Night Health, and we'll have to do this again. It's been far too long. I've known all about all the things that you do. Thank you very much. Late Night Health continues. Late Night Health continues. Join us at Facebook.com/Late Night Health Radio. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk with Bill Marks. Don't go away as Late Night Health with me and the insane Daryl Wayne continues.
The latest from the greatest, the best in new music by classic rockers, with your host, the insane Daryl Wayne.
This is Alice Cooper, and if Daryl Wayne is insane, what does that make me? Criminally insane. Stick around to find out.
Many of the artist interviews for the latest from the greatest have been captured on audiobook. There is a Volume 1 and Volume 2. Great information and conversations with people in the industry and people surrounded by the industry, and of course the rock stars themselves.
I'm the Reverend Al Green, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne. And I said Wayne Insane.
You can find it on Amazon or Blackstone Audio. Search for the latest from the greatest from Daryl Wayne, DARRELL WAYNE.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to the insane Daryl Wayne, aren't you?
There's a lot of talk all over the internet about the remarkable benefits of Carbon-60, and baby boomers are especially excited about it. Greska's Carbon-60 is the premium Carbon-60, developed by an aerospace and NASA scientist. 95% of Greska's customers report positive results from this Nobel Prize-winning technology in just 4 days. Imagine more energy, better health, and more vitality. It's very bioavailable to quickly mend toxin-crippled cells. This is a super powerful antioxidant. Bob Greska is so confident that you'll love his Carbon-60, he wants to send you a bottle at 50% off the regular price. To see how life-changing this will be for you, call 720-600-6040. That's 720-600-6040. Visit C-60.com to learn more. Call 720-600-6040 now or visit c-60.com.